And we're live. Good evening, everyone, and hello, it's Tanja here from Tanja Kraus Horsemanship, and you're joining me for Monday Night Live. I'm going to give it a couple of moments for everyone to start logging in and Facebook to start notifying everyone that I am online at the moment. And in the meantime, I'll just sit here and wait for everyone to start commenting and letting me know that they're here. So go ahead and hit the thumbs up or say hello or comment or whatever to let me know that you're here. There's a thumbs up. Awesome. So I know that people are starting to tune in, and I know that I can start the show as soon as I've got people who are with me. So again, welcome to Monday Night Live. This is about our 13th or 14th show, which I just find incredible. Obviously, it's been 3 months now since we've started, and they're great. I'm really enjoying them. I'm enjoying all the feedback. Hey Ange, hey Gwenda. I'm loving how far-reaching they are. I'm getting emails from all over the world, comments from all over the world of people just letting me know that the topic had helped them with their horse. Or hey Helen, good to see that you tuned in. Hey Brooke, you found us. So yeah, it's just fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. I initially started it to just be something for our TKH people, so to speak. Hey Hillary, and it's gone far beyond that. So it's really fantastic, and it wouldn't be happening without you guys. So thank you so much for joining me once again on your Monday night and taking time out. Hey Angel, and tonight's Monday Night Live is all about, are you training or tormenting? So hey Leah, hey Brenda. Are you training or tormenting is tonight's topic. So while we wait for everyone to get settled in, grab a drink, grab a pen, a notepad, whatever you want to do, and go ahead and hit that invite button. Hey Beck, how you going? Go ahead and click the button that says click here to be notified when Tanja Kraus Horsemanship is live, and that way you'll always be notified when I'm doing lives. Hi Jill, that way you'll never miss any. And yeah. So big hello to everyone doing the TKH 100. Hey Ruth, and I'm really loving that group. It's really active. I'm enjoying seeing all the photos of everyone, and we've got some people really nudging on well over that 3 weeks now, and the feedback is, once again, it's really great. We've built another community over there, and it's really good to see everyone supporting each other and just getting ideas and things like that. So I'm loving that. It's fantastic. I'm in the middle of preparations for our Riders Development course this weekend at the Glenray Showground. So I can see that there's a few of you on at the moment that are going to be, hey Amy, that are going to be joining me. Hi Nicola, that are going to be joining me this weekend. So 4 o'clock in the morning, Angel, you're committed. That's all I can say about that. So yeah, it will be up on replay for sure, and hopefully you'll be able to watch it at a more appropriate time. So yeah, I can see that a few people have joined us that are going to be with us for the Rider Development course this weekend that I'm really excited about. And then of course the following weekend we've got our Gold Coast course, which I know that there's a few people on that are joining us for the Gold Coast course, which early bird pricing is still open for. If people are still wanting to hook in for that one. And then after that, we're heading to New Zealand. I'm heading to New Zealand, both North and South Island. And I'm heading to the USA for September, and I'm running some clinics over there as well. So I'm really excited to be really starting to touch base with people all over the world. And like I say, I do love your emails and your messages and your comments, and I know that I don't get back to them always straight away, but definitely please keep them coming in, because it's knowing that I'm helping you guys. That's what keeps me sitting here on Mondays at 7 o'clock tuning in. And the final bit of news that I've got before we get started, I can see that everyone's really settling in, so that's fantastic. You're in Iowa. I'm heading to California, Angel. Yeah, so I'm going to the Cowboy Dressage World Finals, but prior to that, I'm doing a course at Watsonville, and I've got a couple of other courses planned for that California area. Hey Nikita, welcome. I met with a publisher over last week to really get the legs and wheels in motion for the kids book. A lot of my guys, so people who have been to clinics before, will have known about the kids book. Our gorgeous Deb Hatley is the illustrator and I am the writer. And we've got the manuscript and we've got all the pictures, and now we've got a publisher on board who's going to help us put it all together and get it out and about. So I'm really excited about that project, and that will be on pre-sale soon. And it will be available well before Christmas. So anyone with little kiddies under 6, under 5 years old, you'll have your horsey kid Christmas presents sorted. And really they don't even need to be horsey kids, because it's a story about a horse, but it's got a really good moral to the story. But I won't spend any more time on that. I'll get started on Are You Training or Tormenting? So tonight I'm going to share with you I can't remember, 5, 6, 7, probably 8 different areas that I think we can ask ourselves questions in when it comes to training or educating. I don't even really like using the word training, but it's a really common term. We all throw it around there, but I prefer to use the word educating, because I'm educating myself, I'm educating my horse, and I'm trying to add value to our relationship so we can communicate and we can get along a lot better. So I'm not training him to do things, I'm educating him so he's able to understand me and I'm able to understand him a lot better. So the first question the first thing that I want to look at actually is not the question, it is anything that we're doing with our horses should come under one of 3 categories in terms of benefit to the horse or benefit to you, but we're talking about the benefit to the horse. So the 3 categories that I want to look at are, is what I'm about to do with my horse going to be physically beneficial, mentally beneficial, or spiritually beneficial? So is it going to physically improve him in some way? Is it going to strengthen him? Is it going to make him more flexible? Is it going to make him more balanced? Any of those kind of things. Does it have a physical benefit to the horse? Does it have a mental benefit to the horse? Is it going to stimulate him mentally? Is it going to motivate him? Is it going to make him interested in what we're doing? Is it going to stimulate the horse mentally? Or the 3rd category is spiritually. So what I mean by spiritually, I think, is our connection with the horse and our trust with the horse. So is the task that I'm about to do going to add benefit or going to add value to him in that way? Is it going to cause him to trust me more? Is it going to cause him to be more confident in himself? Is it going to cause him to be more confident in me? So physical, mental, or spiritual growth is what we're looking for when it comes to our education tasks that we're doing with our horses. Gwenda's saying, is anyone else having trouble with hearing the video? So please let us know if you are having trouble. I can't see. Lynn saying no, it's clear. So I don't have one here that I'm watching, so I can't tell. So Helen's saying it's good. So it might be your internet connection, Gwenda. Or maybe the volume's turned down on your phone or your computer or something like that. All right, Angel, thanks for stopping in. It'll be up here on replay, and have a great rest of your shift at work. Okay, so then here come the questions. So the first question that we need to ask ourselves when it comes to training or tormenting, is there a purpose to the task? So what am I actually doing it for? Why am I going out into the paddock and putting the halter on my horse, or riding my horse, or whatever it is, doing liberty with my horse? What is the actual purpose? What am I trying to achieve? So with our young horses, we're typically going through maybe a safety checklist or something like that to make sure that we're safe and he's safe in the upcoming ride. For a, say we're preparing a horse that is going into a competition of some description, we might be looking to teach him some of the maneuvers. So, circles or turnarounds or pirouettes or whatever it is. We might be looking to teach the horse some kind of maneuvers. But even at that level, I'm still going to come back and say, what does my horse get out of learning a pirouette? Okay. I'm just going to go off on a little tangent here. It won't be long. So when it comes to competition, when it comes to me doing things with our horses, I always come back and ask myself, what is my horse getting out of this? what benefit is this to my horse? So it's all good and well for me to say, I want to train my horse to Grand Prix dressage, and I want him to be able to do, you know, canter pirouettes and all that sort of stuff. But what is in it for the horse? What is he actually getting value? So my answer to that question is longevity, balance, strength, control of his body, a high level of communication with me. So if my answer to that question is, I want to go out and do flying changes or pirouettes or whatever because I think they're really cool and me, if it's all about me and I'm not really taking into consideration what's in it for the horse, then I would want to reconsider why I'm actually doing something. So provided that those skills are taught in a correct way, then they can add a physical benefit to the horse, as I just said, strength, suppleness, etc., etc. You know, for me personally, when I'm doing things with my horses and when I'm teaching clinics and things like that, I'm going to take a task and I'm going to say, what core skill is this helping? What benefit is it adding in terms of my core skills? So in my program, I've got foundation skills and I've got core skills and I've got combination skills. I've got all skills that go up in a tier as it goes into developing our horse to performance horse level or to partnership horse level. So the foundation skills are obviously the skills that your horse require to in order to start his ridden career and remain balanced and confident and things like that as a performance horse. So they're still beneficial, all those foundation skills, to my performance horse. But as I move beyond, or as I add to my foundations, I shouldn't say move beyond, because a lot of us make that mistake where we go, I don't need to do foundation skills anymore because my horse is a performance horse now. I actually use my foundation skills in order to add value to my performance horse. So I never put them aside. I build on top of them, like I'm laying bricks, or I'm putting the next tier or the next layer on for my horse. So the next layer after our foundation ridden skills is our core skills, which are you know, I'm not going to name them all because there's like 14 or something, but you know, they can be confidence and trust, accuracy and focus, balance and transitions, vertical and lateral flexion, all of those things that we're looking for in our performance horse. So what is the purpose of the task? Is it adding a foundation skill? Is it giving a benefit for my core skills? Is it, even if I'm teaching my horse a skill for the competition arena, what is that skill's purpose in my horse's life? My horse doesn't necessarily say, yay, take me out into the arena and do flying changes. He's not necessarily going to get caught up in the skill of flying changes, but is his body going to feel better for having learnt flying changes with a rider? Obviously, they do flying changes in the paddock all by themselves just fine. But are they going to have a benefit from learning how to do it on cue and how to do it with a rider and a saddle and all that sort of stuff as part of a team? And I believe that if we're teaching it in the right way, the answer to that question is absolutely yes. So is there a purpose to the task? That's number one. Number two, the question I'm going to ask myself in regards to am I training or educating or tormenting my horse is repetitions. I need to look at my repetitions and I need to ask myself, why am I doing this many repetitions? Okay? So why am I doing this many repetitions? When I first teach a young horse to go under saddle, for example, let's look at the canter. The first time I ever canter a young horse under saddle, I will canter him from one end of the arena to the other end of the arena, or a few short steps on that long side of the arena. Boom, I get off the horse and the lesson's done. The next day I come back and I do that again. And then the next day I might ask him to be a little bit longer. Hey Jane, welcome back home from overseas. You had a massive trip. Good to see that Charlie is happy in his new home and you're looking for a new horse. So we'll absolutely keep our eyes peeled in regards to a new horse for Jane. So I need to ask myself, what am I doing these repetitions for? Because what we typically do is we go from a really, really green baby horse and we give him 1 repetition or 2 repetitions and we go, yay, you know, you did it, good boy, this is awesome, you're amazing. And then all of a sudden, 3 months down the track or 6 months down the track or 2 years down the track, we go, we're going to canter 55 laps of this arena today because I think you're ready. And that makes no sense to the horse, because the horse goes, well, I've gone from cantering, maybe I developed 1 lap or 2 laps of the arena, and then we've just accelerated to 50 laps of the arena. So what's the point? To the horse, doesn't understand the point of all those repetitions. We need to build the repetitions for the horse so it makes sense, because as we know, horses learn when they are released, when the pressure's released, when the questions stop being asked. So if I keep asking the question over and over and over again, somewhere around lap probably 15 of that arena, the horse is going to say, why am I cantering this many laps of the arena? And what have I done wrong? What do I need to change in order to get the release of this repetition around the arena? So that's my first questions when it comes to repetitions. Why are you doing so many? We should be, what are you waiting for? We should be looking for something that's quality, that we can quit on, and we can tell the horse, yep, that was an excellent job, nice canter circle, I'm going to quit. If we need to know that the horse can be fit enough to do 10 canter circles, maybe we've got a horse that's going to need to canter 10 circles for a vaulting horse. Maybe a vaulting horse needs to know how to canter. They probably need to know how to canter for 5 or 10 minutes, but we need to build that fitness up to that point. Okay, so when it comes to repetition, we need to ask ourselves, why do I keep doing this over and over again? And I need to think to myself, if the horse is getting fatigued during these repetitions, it stands to reason that we're going to go up on a scale, and then we're going to start going down when it comes to quality of maneuver. So let's have a look at the start of the repetition. So repetition number 1, maybe it's not so great because the horse doesn't really understand what we're wanting. A repetition number 2, he starts to figure it out. Repetition number 3, he might give us a cracker. Repetition number 4, he might give us another cracker. Repetition number 5, he starts thinking maybe I'm not doing the right thing, and he starts fatiguing. Repetition number 6, he's still hovering around here, and soon enough, as he starts to get more and more tired and he starts to get more and more confused, the quality is going to come out of that maneuver. So then what you're going to hopefully eventually do, well, not hopefully because it's the wrong thing to do, but what you're probably going to do if you've got, if you're reading your horse, you're going to eventually quit and go, oh, he's tired, I'm going to put him back. So you're going to quit when the repetition was all the way down here and it was rubbish. What you should have done was quit, where was it, number 4 or number 5, where it was a really quality maneuver. And then you say to the horse, that was really cool, let's have a rest. And then maybe later on I'm gonna repeat in order to build consistency. So that brings me to another reason why I may do repetitions, and that is to build consistency in my horse. So I know that every time I ask my horse for something, he's going to go, yep, I know that's a turnaround. Yep, I'm going to give it to you. Yep, I'm going to give you a really nice quality. So I want to train my repetitions in there for consistency, but I have to build that ability. I can't go from 1 or 2 to 15 and expect the horse to understand what just happened, because he's going to think in all of those repetitions that he is, that he needs to change something. Another reason that we may be doing repetitions is to build muscular development in the horse, or to build flexibility in the horse. So those of you who have done courses with me, and I'll use we'll use our circles as an example. When we're doing our circles and we're trying to develop self-carriage, once the horse has an understanding of self-carriage and collection on the circle, then we're going to start increasing the repetitions of that circle so the horse can learn to have self-carriage for multiple circles. But all of you guys who have been to courses have seen this happen with my very own horses, and especially you guys that come repeatedly to courses, you will be able to see, you would have seen my horses do a quarter of a circle of self-carriage, and I quit and let them rest. And then the next course that you came to, it was probably, depending on how far apart they were, it may have been half a circle of self-carriage, and then I quit and let them rest. And now 3 out of 4 of my horses will do, 1 or 2 or 3, depending on which horse it is, because they're all at different levels. But each one of those horses is going to be, it has the understanding of self-carriage, and so they're quite happy to do a circle in self-carriage. So once they've got an understanding of the task, then I'm going to go ahead and start asking for them to do more circles in self-carriage, because I've gone beyond trying to educate them on what it is that I desire, and I'm trying to do repetitions in order to get their body to a physical state that they can carry that for a period of time. But you can see how this is building and building and building. It's not something that I can do or develop overnight. So number 2, repetitions. What are you waiting for? Why are you doing them? Make sure that you're not just doing repetitions because that's what we always did. You know, traditionally, I remember my lessons when I was in my teens and 20s. It was like, do another one, do another circle, do another circle, do another circle. Why? Why am I doing another circle? What's the point of this? I was filling up the hour. I can tell you exactly why we were doing another circle, because it hadn't been an hour yet. So number 3 is, does he understand? So are you training or tormenting is the topic of tonight. And does your horse understand what it is that you're asking for? So I see a lot of people quit too early. So I see a lot of people put a cue into their horse and say to their horse, oh, I want you to do let's use a left lead canter as an example. I want you to do a left lead canter. And they ask for left lead canter, doesn't happen. In whichever case, the horse either doesn't canter, the horse takes up the wrong lead, or the horse runs, or something goes wrong. And then they try again, and they ask the horse again, no, it doesn't happen again. And then they ask the horse a third time, doesn't happen, and the rider will go, I must be doing something wrong, oh, I need to change something. So I see that very often, and I consider that to be a quick, that would be too quick to quit, okay? So that would be the rider giving up too easily on trying to help the horse understand what it is that they're asking for. But that does get to a point that if you've done, and I can't name a specific number of repetitions for you, like there's no black and white deadline where if you've done 25 and the horse still isn't giving you a left lead canter that you need to quit. I'd say 25 is a lot, but without looking at you and the horse together, then I can't make an assessment on that. But what I'm saying is there's quitting too early, giving up too early, and then there's constantly asking the horse when he really doesn't understand what it is that he is being asked of. And again, as I said, in repetitions, he's starting to get fatigued, he's starting to physically not be capable of doing it, which is a consideration that we should be doing anyway, you know, and then it just gets worse and worse and we put him away for the day. So the third question that we need to ask ourselves is, does my horse understand what it is that I'm asking of him? And if he doesn't, what do I need to do to help him understand? Do I need to go back to the ground? Do I need to go online? Do I need to break it down more? Do I need to take the horse out the bush and try and work on my canter parts because the arena doesn't make sense to him? I don't know. It depends on the skill and it depends on what the trouble is. But question number 3, does he understand? Because if he doesn't understand and you just keep hammering him, then you're tormenting him. Number 4 is, are you trying to catch him out? So what I was thinking of, and I see this a lot in my travels, and the most perfect example that I see of this is when I see someone leading their horse down the paddock, and they will be leading their horse, say they've just done a clinic with me, it's lunchtime, they're leading their horse back to the stalls. And they'll be leading the horse back to the stalls and they'll stop really abruptly. And the horse will take 1 or 2 steps past them and they'll go, oh, you know, bang, 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 and they back the horse up. You shouldn't have gone past me. You should have known that I was stopping. But the way that they're doing it is that they're trying to catch the horse out. So they're deliberately walking quite fast and then they really come to a really abrupt stop and the horse goes, whoa, you know, I didn't catch it, takes him 1 or 2 strides to catch it, and then he gets punished for not stopping immediately. Even if I was walking hand in hand with my partner down the street and we were walking at a pretty reasonable pace and he stopped, it would probably take me 1 or 2 steps to stop, because that's just the momentum of your body, especially if you're going somewhere. I'm not saying it's okay for the horse to keep going or drag or pull on you or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, are you trying to catch him out? If you're constant, and that's just one example, I see a lot of different things. If you're constantly trying to catch him out doing something wrong, you're setting him up for failure, not for success. So eventually that horse is probably going to, lag behind in that scenario. That horse is going to start lagging behind because he's going to say, well, I'll just wait for her to stop. So then instead of being my partner horse who's walking along beside me, he's walking behind me like a kick dog, so to speak. So are you trying to catch him out? If you are, you're tormenting him, okay? Number 5, does it make sense to the horse? Will it make sense to the horse? So the example that I'm going to use for that is sideways. When I first teach a horse sideways, doesn't make a lot of sense to the horse, especially at the standstill. I'm asking the horse to take a step sideways and they're going, I don't understand why I'd step sideways. It's not something I particularly do in the paddock. They don't do a lot of traveling sideways in the paddock. So it may take them a little while to get, and it doesn't make a terrible amount of sense. Later on, when I start opening gates with that horse, then it makes sense because the horse starts to go, oh, she's asking me, oh, we're moving sideways towards a gate. She wants to reach the gate, or she wants to reach the side of the arena to grab a beer, or she wants to go and get something off the fence. Okay, so is the skill that you're doing making sense now or going to make sense? So I don't teach sideways up to a gate. I teach it out in the middle of the paddock. Sometimes I do side pass up to the, someone's doing a laughy face. That was because I said the beer. Depends on what time of day it is. Sometimes it's a coffee, but sometimes I will step the horse sideways towards the side of the arena because I want to give the horse something that makes sense to him. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind when it comes to sideways. So I'm not talking about putting my horse's nose up to the fence and going sideways along it like this. I don't do that. I don't recommend doing that at all. That's a whole nother video. What I'm talking about is lining the horse up sideways with the fence and stepping towards the fence and, like I say, picking something up, and obviously make sure your horse is okay with picking something up. I've seen people pick up raincoats or even water and stuff like that, and it has not gone well. So don't teach a green horse how to side pass up to a fence and then grab something off the fence that's going to scare him. You may simply just side pass up to the fence and go ahead and rest at the fence. So the horse goes, well, every time we sit next to a fence, we're gonna stand here and rest. So it makes sense to the horse. So is what you're doing making sense to the horse? If the answer to that is yes, then you're training or educating. If the answer is no, then you're probably tormenting him. The next one, which I think is number 6, is the horse under stress? So there's been studies recently, there's probably a few that are a bit older, but there's been information coming through of official studies that have been done that say that horses under stress, and they did this particularly in eventing horses, horses under stress are not retaining the information that is given to them during training sessions, and therefore when you pull them out for the next training session the next day, it's almost as if the session the previous day did not happen, or very little of that training is being retained by the horse. So when a horse is in a stressful state, he is unable to retain information as well as on a great big scale, as well as a horse that is quiet, calm, confident, able to take in information and retain information. I'm not saying the horses will never get stressed. Obviously, a green horse that's never been sat on before or started or ridden or whatever is maybe going to hit periods of stress where his heart rate might increase and he might get a little bit bothered, but it's a good colt starter is going to help that horse come down from that stressful place. He's going to get him, or she's going to get him more confident, calm, quiet, and help them understand the process of what's going on, and then the next day the horse is going to have that information retained. So if you find that you're in the arena and your horse is increased heart rate due to stress, nostrils flaring, eyes wide and staring and unblinking, whites of the eyes showing, a head elevated, rushing around, you name it, all of those things that as horse people we know that horse is under stress. Don't try and give him information. Don't try and teach him something, because he's not going to retain that information. You're wasting your time. You're better off spending that time to try and bring him back down to a quiet, calm place, so he understands that when he's with you, he can remain calm. Ellie Mae. My horse tortures me while I train him. He might give me some more different information there, Ellie. So she's saying she hasn't got great reception, so she'll have to watch later. So very good. Hi, Kylie. Welcome. Number 7 is, are you greedy? Are you being greedy? Are you part of the just one more club? So those of you who have been to clinics before would be probably laughing about this right now, because we speak about it pretty often. You've taught your horse something, it's going really well, you're really excited about it, and you go, I just want to do one more. I just want to do one more. I just want to do one more. Because we are enjoying it and we are thinking this is fantastic. It's so much fun. And we start doing one more, one more, one more. And soon enough, the horse gives you not a very good one. And then we go, oh, he's getting tired. Now we're going to quit him up. So instead of quitting on the one that was really, really cool, our greediness got in the way and we just wanted to experience it one more time. And then so we quit on the one that wasn't very good. So if you're a little bit greedy, if you're part of that just one more club, then you may be tormenting your horse, because what we want to create in our horses is horses that are full of try, horses that are wanting to try things all the time, and they're trying to basically figure out what it is that we want and give that to us. So if we take that generosity and we abuse it by asking for more and more and more and more, then we're probably not going to be as successful in our training as if we said, oh, that was a great job. Let's pick it up again tomorrow. That was fantastic. We can quit it here. I hope this is making sense, guys. Just give me a thumbs up or a smiley face or something if all these points are making sense. So we're just coming up to number 8, and that's our final one for the evening. So are you testing your skills? Okay, great. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. I'm seeing love hearts, so that's wonderful. Are you testing your skills, or are you wearing them out? Jeffrey's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. The example that I'm going to use, hey Rebecca, look, it's keeping me very warm in now. We got cold weather at the moment. Nicola's saying definitely fantastic. Monique's saying she can't believe how much of a tormentor she is. Karen's giving me a smiley face. Thank you, everyone. That's awesome. So the example that I'm going to use for are you testing your skills or are you wearing them out, Hillary's giving me a smiley face, thank you, is I was at a club get-together many years ago, probably 8 or 10 years ago. I was at a club get-together. We were all there just having some fun for the weekend with our horses, and we all went out into the arena and we did stuff with our horses. And then on the way out of the arena, probably 75% of people began to back their horses through the gate. So they would get to the gate, open the gate, turn their horse around, and then ask the horse to reverse through the gate. To the point that there was a wait to get out of the arena. There was no other gate, like there was 2 gates at opposite ends of the arena. So some people went that way and some people went that way. But there was literally, Phil and I were there and we're just standing there going, what's happening? Why is it taking us so long to get out? And then we realized that there was this big lineup, and not just one person did it. Multiple people did this gate thing. And we realised that over the course of the weekend, because over the course of the weekend it kept happening over and over again. That, you know, we'd go to the gate, open the gate, and back through the gate. And finally I said to someone, why are you guys backing your horses out of the gate? And they said, oh, it's really cool. You know, it's something we learned at a clinic at some point, somewhere back in the day. And it's really stuck in my mind because to me, that is a skill that I might do with my horse once every 6 months to prove to me and my horse that I can do it, to prove that I've got the communication with my horse, that my skills, my fundamental skills that I teach my horse, backing up, following the feel of the rope, following my energy, being willing, all of those things, that just allows me to test that and go, oh, I wonder if I can back my horse through a gate. Yep, done. Okay, I can revisit that in 6 months or a year. I mean, I don't think I've done it in 3 years or whatever. Long time. It's not something I commonly do. And it's one of those things that I see happening not only with gateways, but with that walking beside them and stopping all the time. I see that frequently with people going back to their floats where it goes beyond a little, wonder if we can do this. Oh, yep, tick it off, head back to the trailer, to I'm going to stop 15 times between now and the trailer. That's tormenting your horse. Backing a horse through a gate every single time you go to a gate, that's just tormenting the horse. I wouldn't even want to walk with you if you did that to me. That'd be like getting to the shopping centre and you walking backwards through the doors and then turning to face the right way, and then we get to Coles and you walk backwards over every threshold. I'd be like, I'll meet you in the car. I'm not walking with you anymore, right? Because it just doesn't make any sense. So I think we need to get to a point with our horses that yes, we can put little things in there to say, oh, I wonder if I can do that. But if we're repeatedly doing it just every time just because, that's something we need to revisit and go, do I need to do this every single time? Does it make sense to the horse? It goes back to, does it make sense to the horse? Does the horse understand why he's going backwards through a gate? No. And if you're putting a horse backwards through a gate because he tends to rush through a gate, it's probably not going to fix it, because the minute you face him towards a gate, he's still going to want to rush through that gate, because it might be a claustrophobia issue or it might be a habit or something like that. So if you've got a horse that wants to rush through a gate, then sure, you need to fix that issue with him facing forward, because backing him up is just bypassing the issue. It's not actually fixing the issue. Margaret is saying, first time listener, makes a lot of sense. As a trail rider, my horses get a bit confused when I ask them to side pass in an arena, but when I ask them to side pass through a gate, they totally understand. I'm just trying to click see more. Oh yes, they totally understand. That was the end of the comment. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a really great example. In an arena, it's an education skill. It's kind of like one of those, I wonder if I can see if I can get my horse to go sideways in the arena. Now, if you're a dressage rider or a working equitation rider or something like that, who is required to do tests in which your horse does lateral movements, then sure, you're going to have to train those lateral movements in the arena or out on the trail. Ask the horse to go sideways from one side of the trail to the other side of the trail, and then try and replicate it in the arena. You know, arena work is a bit of just because work, but it ultimately has a purpose. You know, we're going to do a dressage test or something like that, and we're going to use that skill. But that skill is, using that skill in the arena is just showing yourself that you can ask the horse to do it when and wherever, and that the horse is going to respond to that request. So if I'm out on the trail and I can side pass around a stick or a puddle or something like that, but then I'm in the arena and it's not going to work, then the horse is maybe making decisions in regards to that, where he's saying, well, I see the purpose of going around the puddle, but I don't see the purpose of going sideways in the arena, so I'm not going to do it. Well, there's a little bit of a concern in regards to the horse's willingness to do something because you've asked him to do something. So welcome. I hope you're enjoying it, being a first-time listener. Hillary, that's why the beer exercise in the arena is so good. I know, right? It really does make sense to the horse. And the funny thing is about, I'm not encouraging people to drink and ride here. Please don't send me a million messages about my irresponsibility, or about me being irresponsible. but it does make sense because you ask the horse to do a maneuver, and then you do something and he feels in your body that, even if it's a cup of coffee or a bottle of water, the horse feels in your body, oh, okay, good, we're here, we're going to do this, okay, we're going to put it down, okay, we can go on. So it's something that made sense to the horse. So it's definitely something that can really help in regards to training consistency in our sideways, definitely. So there's the 8 different points when it comes to, are you training or tormenting? I hope that you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I really appreciate you tuning in. The replay will be up shortly for those of you who would like to see it again or would like to share it with your friends. Thank you so much for joining us. The Monday Night Live Series 1 is available on DVD. I know I mentioned it last week and I have finished watching it. So I know that the master copy all works and everything like that. So if anyone would like to order that, go ahead and send me a private message and I will send you the details about ordering it. We are only charging $15 and that includes postage Australia-wide. We're just hoping to make that available for all of you. So please send your suggestions through if you've got any topics that you would like to see me cover on our Monday Night Live shows. Again, I can't thank you enough for joining me. It really means a lot for you to be here during the live show. I know that a lot of you will watch it on replay and I really do appreciate even those of you that have touched in. I think Brett was one of them, but the comments were going so fast I didn't see it. But I think Brett, he sort of came in and then he said he was going to watch it. Well, he won't watch it while he's driving home, but he'll have it sitting on the seat and he'll listen to it on the way home. I know a lot of people, I really appreciate you coming in and just letting me know that you're here and being interactive and engaging and all that. Brooke saying, I feel like I need to give Jim a hug and say sorry. You don't need to apologize. He's just fine. But I do hope that I gave you a little bit of, a different way of looking at things, I guess. Monique saying it was great. Kylie saying thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're welcome, Helen. I'll see you on the weekend. So I hope everyone has a great week with their horses. Thank you so much. Please, like I say, keep in contact with me. Let me know what you're doing with your horses. And if you haven't already, go ahead and request to join our hashtag TKH100 Revolution if you are a part of that. You're welcome, Leah. Caroline, you just have to remember everything. I know. That's why we're doing the DVDs, so you can kind of rewatch the shows and for stuff like that. Thanks, Ange, for watching. I really appreciate it. So good night, everyone. Have a great week.